welcome back. So let's start the last session, that is leadership skills, presentation skills, networking skills by CA Nileema, Deepak, Shenoy. I request the chairman to escort the speaker and welcome her with a floral bouquet. It's my pleasure to introduce the last speaker, CA Nileema Shenoy. She's a chartered accountant and partner at Nileema Kamath and Associates, based in Electronic City, Bangalore since 2016. Originally from Karkala, she qualified as a CA at the young age of 22. She is also the director of Samayam Spiritual Tourism Private Limited, a pioneering venture that blends spiritual tourism with the wisdom of ancient Indian scriptures, offering a transformative experience rooted in Bharat's heritage. An experienced felicitator at ICAI, she regularly conducts sessions as part of their General Management and Communication Skills program and is a sought-after freelancer speaker at MBA institutions, delivering sessions on taxation, accounting and related fields. We welcome you, ma'am. Over to you. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I hope it's been a good day so far, and welcome you all to the last session of the day. And to give you a brief about what is in it for you for the next 1.5 hours, the first thing that we're going to look at is leadership. We'll look at what is leadership, vigilant leadership, what are the competencies required for an efficient leadership, and then we'll look at the next thing, that is networking, and post that we'll look at effective presentation. For a change today, I see that you've been sitting all day long since the last, since morning. So we'll have a nice activity in the last part of the day, during a networking session, wherein you'll have to roam around, talk to people, and you yourself have to give presentations. So it's like the last moment, wherein we'll do the groups. We'll have 4 groups here, and then you'll have to discuss amongst each other and then come up with something exciting about which I'll tell you later. Okay, so I welcome you to the session once again, and let us start with leadership. So the first thing, this is the content for the day today. We are going to look at what is leadership, what is the importance of leadership, and then what are the key leadership competencies, and what is that ethical leadership and governance, and what are our leadership action plans, and then we conclude the session with that. Alright, so what is vigilant leadership, or who is a vigilant leader? Vigilant leader is someone who's really watchful and careful of the dangers. He is someone who can anticipate threats and dangers in advance such that he can prepare the required strategies to cope up with these threats. Now, why do you think leadership is important? The first point very well says here that it drives vision, strategy and culture. If I have to take my own example, now that I am a practicing chartered accountant, my whole practice today looks like a sapling of how my principal's practice used to be. So the way I saw my principal talking to his clients, the way he treated his articles, the way the work culture was formed in the office, that leadership of my principal is so much deep-rooted, not only inside me, but also with all other fellow articles who did articleship with me. It's so deep-rooted that today we look like saplings of that principal's firm. So that is how much influential and effective leadership will always be. Also, if we look at from an organization's point of view, we see that about 65% of any employee's life, 65% of an employee's life he spends inside an organization, right? So that means the entire work culture affects not only his finances but also his mental health. The way the work culture is designed also influences largely what his personality is. So it's like if the leader is a visionary, that means the employees who are working for him, they're thriving. So we all know that an organization is a separate legal entity, right? So it's a lifeless entity. But once the leader enters, it is his vision, his strategy and his culture that largely defines where that organization will go, right? So it's like he is the one who makes that organization blossom. It is his ideas. Today if you look at successful businesses, businesses might be successful, but there will always be that one person who has made that thing possible, who has made the employees working there proud of being working there. Yeah, so I can largely tell you that it is that one person, that one leader whose strategies, whose vision shapes how the entire organization works towards. Further, moving on to the next part, which is the key leadership competencies. The first part that we see here is the communication. We all know that it has to be clear, persuasive and empathetic. There's no doubt about it. But that one thing which I always feel about communication is that the speech of a leader should sit in people's hearts rather than in people's minds, right? And we know that be it the employees or be it the clients, yeah, they do not pay for the services, or they're largely influenced by the connection they hold with the leader. So I think I can conclude saying that people pay for connections rather than for services. And it is this is not said by me, it's said by one person, Dr. Meghna Dikshit, who is a brain training expert. Yeah, so she says how largely the whole profitability of a business depends on how much this person, the leader, emphasizes on the connection rather than the services. Yes, definitely services is an integral part, there's no doubt about it. But what plays a major role is how much connection the leader holds with the clients as well as with the employees. Going further, the next thing is decision making. It has to be data driven, timely and ethical. Further, we have problem solving, which is analytical thinking and creative solutions. Now, talking about problem solving, I think be it our own practice or even be it any entrepreneurial ventures, right? Entrepreneurship is just about problem solving. If there's some problem which is being solved by this entrepreneur, that business is a success. Yes. So when we talk about problem solving, I think there has to be creative solution, and especially we all know how much the business dynamics is changing today, right? I mean, we have Gen Zs, we are going to have Gen Zs into business, and they're going to be our clients shortly, and they're going to be a large part of our client base. So they are totally, I can say that, the way they, because I see students in my GMCF and orientation, and they are going to be my clients tomorrow, if at all, they set up businesses. The way they think, the way they do business would be totally different from how we used to do. Yeah, so I think we have to keep that, just like how, for example, Tata Trent, right? They have had this established business West Side, yeah. But why did they introduce Zudio? Because they wanted to target fast fashion and they wanted to target Gen Z. And Gen Z is someone who is largely dependent on pocket money. That means the products that Zudio launches has to be pocket friendly. So likewise, if Zudio has to think, Tata Trend has to think so much to stay in business, we also have to think so much to stay in business, because the same Gen Z is going to be our clients tomorrow, right? So I think when we talk about problem solving, this analytical thinking and creative solution is going to have a greater influence on our practice tomorrow as well. Why? Because Gen Zs are looking for something like this. Going further, we have tools. These are the tools that, like SWOT analysis, we have force field analysis, and various such tools which a leader has to understand, and he has to understand how to use them for his business. I think there is one more important thing which is not mentioned in this slide. It is being technically sound. How much ever great communication we have, how much ever great problem solving approach we have, unless and until we are really sound in the business that we are doing, be it our CA practice. If it's CA practice, then there's no doubt about it. Clients expect us to be God in the laws or the accounts, things like that, right? Likewise, if it is business, yeah, we have to be really technically sound in whichever business or whichever industry we are in. So yeah, that's about the key leadership competencies. Now moving on to the next part, which is enhance ethical leadership and governance. So the first thing here is that we have to uphold transparency. There's no doubt about it. However, I feel that being a CA in practice, I feel how much of influence I hold, how much power I hold as a bridge between the citizen and the government, right? So now that the tax season is going on, that we had to release, the workload has increased, and we see how much pressure we get, to not to be ethical. But then there's this always one thing, which I keep reminding myself, when our Honorable Prime Minister said to us that a CA signature is something that holds more value. Yeah, I keep reminding myself that, and I keep telling myself how much of an important profession I'm in. Yeah, so we are that bridge between the government, the government and the citizens. Going further, we have financial lead by example in financial reporting and disclosure, promoted whistleblower protection and ethical audits. Yes, and the last point is aligned with ICAI Code of Ethics. All right, and I want to just add one more point to this. It is that even the smallest of the smallest kirana store can be made compliant if we can use our skill set as to how they can maintain their books of account in a way that they're compliant. Yeah, so they might not be knowledgeable, they might not know how to maintain books of account, but still we can design something today, in a way that they can also pay GST on the sales rightfully. How to track sales. They cannot really afford softwares maybe, or they cannot really track all their purchases because there's just one person, the owner, who is working there in the store. However, if a CA wishes, even the smallest of the smallest kirana store can be brought into the good governance approach. So that's what I want to say in this part. Moving further, your leadership plan. I think you can just go through this. Self-assess your leadership style. Set goals for vigilance and ethical growth. Mentor others and foster a culture of foresight. With that, we come to the end of the first session, which is leadership. Vigilant leaders are ethical, strategic and adaptive. Lead with vision, act with integrity, stay alert to what's ahead. Thank you so much. With this, we come to end of the first session.